In this video, you will see interviews with a Dutch voter, migrant, and a policymaker on the topic of social migration. The main cause for social migration is to be close to family, or another reason can be the search for a better quality of life. Migration is as old as you can imagine, but in recent history some things changed. After World War II, when the Netherlands needed to be rebuilt, a lot of guest workers emigrated from southern countries. This stopped in 1973 after the economic crisis. The guest workers, who still lived in the Netherlands, wanted to be with their families. Women and children came together through social migration. Nowadays, some new factors are at play, for example, online dating, and there are still a lot of labor workers migrating to the Netherlands with their families.
Hello.
Hello.
Would you please introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Philippe Mortureux. I'm 62 years old and I'm French.
Okay. This is an interview about migration. I came to understand that you also immigrated to the Netherlands.
Yes.
What is the reason you immigrated?
The reason is because a few years ago I was still working in France
Yes.
for a German company, and I met a charming lady who was also working for this company.
Yes.
And I fall in love, and then I decided to move to the Netherlands.
Okay. And if you didn't met your wife,
Yes.
would you still immigrate to the Netherlands, or would you have stayed in France?
I could have gone somewhere else. I was not absolutely stick to France. I've been working in Belgium for 15 years.
Yes.
Now, would it be my first choice to come to the Netherlands? I don't think so.
No.
No, since I'm French and my culture is closer to the Latin countries like Italy or Spain.
Okay, the South region.
South region.
Okay.
And my second language is Spanish.
Oh, really?
Yes. So that's it would have been easier
to talk in Spanish.
to talk
right
Spanish than to talk Dutch.
Yes. Let me think about my question. What do you think about migration? What is your opinion?
It's a source of exchange between people, exchange between culture. I have never had a problem here in the Netherlands as a French person.
Yes.
Because I think your country is very open to this and very well organized. I think it's heavier in other countries in Europe to be a migrant.
Like Italy.
Sorry?
Like Italy with the...
Italy, yeah, they are not, they are in the first row for the people coming to Europe. So they have everybody.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to handle.
Do you think the way we respond to the migrants with the culture, accepting the culture, and like banishing Sinterklaas, do you think that is the right thing to do, or do you think it is a tradition, so we should keep it?
Well, it's not only, how can I say, these days you have several actions which are toward colonization or racism, and it's not an isolated problem from the Netherlands. You have Sinterklaas, but in France, for example, a long time ago, not so long, a couple of years ago, we still had on our box of chocolate powder a picture of a black man to illustrate that the chocolate was coming from Africa. Well, they have asked, the people have decided to remove this kind of racism or
to show respect or
To show respect, exactly. Today in the world, all over, you have people putting down the statue.
yes.
So Sinterklaas is not an isolated problem.
What is the biggest difference between the Netherlands and France?
Um, I think that when you welcome people, you know how to handle it. I have never seen people sleeping in the street in Holland.
No?
I've never seen people hanging around in the countryside, hiding in the woods, or it looks like you can manage it. You say, okay, we have migrants, and we do what we have to do.
Yeah. Is it because you have better rules and laws, or is that because just because of the culture?
Oh, I don't know, Gert. It's why. First of all, you should not forget that the shortest way for the migrants to go to England is in France.
Yes.
It's Calais. And I don't know why, but all these people think that UK is paradise. So the first thing they try to do is to go to Calais in France and then
Yes.
to cross the channel and to go to England. That's one point. How can you control this? You can hardly control all the borders. And so why France? I don't know. But what I see is the fact that the migrants that are in France, France cannot handle it. For me, it's a disaster. It's a human disaster. And when we go back with Agnès to Paris to
Yes.
visit my family, I'm shocked. I'm shocked to see people under the bridge. I'm shocked to see in the middle of Paris hundreds of tents, with people sleeping outside.
Yes.
I think it's crazy. This day it's crazy.
Yeah, I can agree with that. My last question. Would you go back to France to live there again with Agnes?
Oh, I feel good here.
Yes.
Now my life is my social life is here. The family of Agnès is here. We still have two kids which are not 100% independent. So for the moment, I'm not thinking of going back to live there. But going back time to time, yes, sure, because I still believe that it's a beautiful country with a lot of interesting things. I must say that regarding the life in general,
Yes.
I feel much more comfortable in the Netherlands than in France.
Okay. That's interesting to hear.
Ah.
And nice.
You're welcome.
Thanks
You're
for the
welcome.
interview.
You're welcome, Gert.
Thank you for participating.
You're welcome.
For how long have you been voting?
Since I was 18, so 31 years.
Okay. What do you think about people who migrate because of social reasons? For example, to reunite with their family?
Well, I think a lot of times it's understandable because when you have to leave the country because your family is in another country, I think it's understandable. I don't know if I would, but it's a good reason to migrate.
Do you know someone who migrated because of social reasons?
Well, my dad migrated from Indonesia to Holland, but it wasn't really for social reasons because the Indonesian people, they didn't really have a choice to stay there with a Dutch heritage. But he also migrated to Holland because his family was coming here as well. His mom and his brothers were coming here.
Okay, so it's partly because of social reasons.
A little bit, yes.
Okay. Would you migrate because of social reasons?
No, I don't think I would. Well, first of all, I love Holland. It's a great country, even though it's very wet. But we have a good social system, and my kids live here, so I wouldn't leave.
Okay. And does migration influence your vote, and how does it influence it?
I think it might have influenced my voting, but I've always voted the same, always the right wing. And well, migration is in the right wing. People are less enthusiastic about migration into Holland. So yeah, maybe it's influencing my vote a little bit.
Thank you. For how long have you been voting?
For how long? Ooh, I started when I was 18. I'm now 51. So, can you do the math?
No.
Yeah? It's a long time.
Okay. What do you think about people who migrate because of social reasons? For example, to reunite with their family?
I think it's a good thing. I'm, in a sense, in favor of migrating. People want to come, for example, to the Netherlands. They probably have a very good reason. So, if they want to come to the Netherlands, or somebody is going abroad because there is a person who they like and they want to marry, for example. That's fine with me.
Okay. Do you know someone who migrated?
I know several people.
Yeah?
Yes, because I work at an international company, and we opened several offices abroad, and we always moved people from the Netherlands to those offices. And some of them, so in a sense, they migrated because of their work, but they got married there and they didn't come back.
Okay. Would you migrate because of social reasons, and why would you do that, or why wouldn't you do that?
Well, like I said, at our company it's very easy to migrate. So if I wanted to migrate, I probably would have done it already. And for social reasons or work reasons, for me that's the same. So the answer is no. And that's simply because I've got my kids here, and I won't leave the country to go abroad without them. And they probably don't join.
No. Okay. And how does migration influence your vote?
How does? At this stage, no, it doesn't influence my vote.
No?
No, I've voted since my first vote to one particular party, and I remain doing that.
And have you ever thought about it, so that it almost made a decision for you?
To change the vote?
Yeah, because
No.
of migration?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. I think everybody should have a fair chance, and as long as they adapt to our habits, I'm fine with it.
Okay, thank you.
To what extent do you have to deal with migration? Do you have to deal with migration at all? Or?
Well, I talk about migration. I've talked about integration. That's my one of the subjects I have to talk about. And for me, it's quite important because for some people they are going to live here. We should help them to get integrated and to talk with other people, to get to work immediately and be a full member of the society, and not try to make them more like second-rate civilians or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you are going to live here, you must be a full member of society, and you have to work, and you have to be able to speak the language fluently, not like me in English, but really in Dutch. And that's what I try to enhance.
Yes, okay. So your migration group, which you encounter the most, is economic or environmental or social migration?
Most of them are social migration and labor force.
From the what?
Labor
Oh,
force.
yes.
I guess Polish people, Romanian people, and
Oh, okay.
stuff like that.
And so the main cause for this migration is the work that they can provide here. They come here for better work and better chances. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And some of them they come from Syria or countries like that, and they have to flee for war.
yes.
Of course.
Okay, it's awesome that you do that. And is there something you want to change maybe about the migration progress? Something that can be improved?
Well, I think so. There are a lot of things that can be improved. One thing is we have to make sure that people that are going to live here can stay here, or be told not to stay here in a few weeks.
So a faster.
That's the main thing. We have to be able to check on the borders from Europe much better who is really going to live in the European Union and who is not to be. Is like economic. I don't know the word, but from Morocco or Tunisia or Algeria, people also going to try to live in the European Union, but they're not allowed. And I think we should stop them at the borders from Europe and send them back then. If they come to the Netherlands or here, we have to be able to tell them in a few weeks you're not able to stay here, and you go out. And for the rest, we have to make them from day one be Dutch civilian.
So they have it's a faster progress. It's not
That's the
that.
process.
Yeah. Okay.
Process, yeah.
And
when they are here, I'm sorry. And when they are here, we should treat them as full civilians from day one. Technically, we are able to do this, but we have to put more money in it, I guess, and change some rules to make it simpler. And when you are here, I think it's horrible if you come from Syria and you are a smart person, you want to work very hard, and you come here and you have to wait 2 years in some
exactly.
building, and you don't have, you're not able to work, you're not able to really study, and you're not even able to build your family again. That's really harsh. So I would like to make that a lot faster so that they can move on and make a good life again.
And is there something else you want to add? Like maybe you have done some volunteer work in like different countries, or do you have something extra? Yeah, you did volunteer work?
I did when I am a volunteer from Vluchtelingenwerk. I don't know what's it called in English.
Refugees.
Refugee work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I try to teach some people the Dutch language a little bit better, so that's more or less once or twice a week, half an hour. In where I live, it's Os, nice city, I guess. And then we have a group of people. They are united and they call themselves Welcome to Os. Yeah?
Oh, great.
So we make sure that refugees are feeling welcome. When they come to live in Os, we show them around where to go to the church, where to go to the mosque if they're Muslim, where to go to evangelical church if you are evangelical, where to buy your cheap food. So we invite them from day one every week to go to dinner with some of us, so they can meet a lot of people. That helps them a lot.
Thank you for listening, and this was our video documentary about social immigration for the Euroclio project.